Hello, in this video I'm going to show you 6 shortcuts that even the most hardcore of Microsoft Word users will probably not have come across. Hello, so even if you are a regular user of Microsoft Word and are familiar with all of the tools and a lot of the shortcuts, there are still probably a number of shortcuts you may well not have come across. Some of them aren't terribly useful, but I've chosen 6 I think are useful and are worth knowing, and I'm going to share those with you now. I'd like you to tell me in the comments section below how many of them are completely new to you, even if you think you know everything there is to know about Microsoft Word. So let's kick off with number 1. So the first shortcut is a way of getting random text included into your document. If you're creating a template and you need to stick some dummy text in there just for now so that you can get the formatting just right, there are a couple of different ways in which you can do that. You can use equals rand and then either open and close the brackets like that, and it'll put there a page of writing or half a page of writing in there. Or you can simply do equals rand and specify how many paragraphs and how many lines, or how many sentences rather, should be in each paragraph, and then it'll produce the exact amount of text that you're looking for. That text, of course, as you can see, is help text about Microsoft Word itself, and you may prefer to have dummy text that's not actually English. It just looks like that Latin, the lipsum, lorem ipsum type text. Not many people realize that's built into Word. So, for example, I can type equals lorem, and then let's have 5 paragraphs of 5 sentences, close that. And there we are, there's the lorem ipsum dummy text, the Latin or fake Latin text, which is used in a lot of templates and is preferred over the main English that Word uses, because this is obviously not your writing, this is just dummy text, so there's no chance that it'll get accidentally overlooked and left in. So being able to type equal lorem for random text, and we'll just put in the close brackets there to put in the basic amount, or we type in however much we want, is a perfect way of quickly grabbing text so that you can play with it, put it into a template and so on. So that's shortcut number 1. Shortcut number 2 is about selecting text. Let's just put in some of that dummy text. You probably know that to double-click a word will select that whole word. Possibly, if you're a hardcore Microsoft Word user, you know that to triple-click inside any paragraph will select the entire paragraph. But did you know that you can also hold down the Control button, and when you hold down Control and click once, it selects the whole sentence? So if I come down here, I hold Control, I click once, it selects that entire sentence. So a double click for one word, triple click for a whole paragraph, and a Control click for a sentence. Shortcut number 3 is how to put horizontal lines or line breaks between sections of your document. Let's say we want to have a horizontal line right under our title. Let's go up to the top and let's pretend that this is my title. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Let's say make that size 24. And I want to have a line underneath this, not just simply highlighting this text and putting underline. I want to have a line break underneath it. You can do this by pressing enter, going down underneath the line of text and typing 3 hyphens. This is the key to the right hand side of the 0 at the top of your keyboard. Typing 3 hyphens and then pressing enter will put that thin line, not underlining the text, it's lower down than that and it's slightly thinner, and it goes right across from one side of the document to another. It's great for separating sections of your document. It's great for titles like that. If I just undo that, what you can do as well, instead of typing 3 dashes, is you can type 3 equal signs and press enter, and you end up with this double line. So it's like a twin line, slightly thicker than the single one. So that's how to put in horizontal lines into your text. Tip number 3 is about putting in tables into your Word. Yes, you can go up to the insert button and you can choose table, you can highlight it, you can go down and decide how many you want. So you can do that, but you can actually do a table as you type. So let's, for example, say I want to have 4 columns in a quick table. I can type plus sign, tab, plus sign, tab, plus sign, tab, plus sign, and press enter. And it turns it into a table. So each plus sign is one of these vertical lines here. So I think I said 4. Did I say 4? Let's do 4 then. So plus tab, plus tab, plus tab, plus tab, plus tab. Oops. There we go. So 4 columns. So I very quickly there got the table that I need in exactly the right place. I can format this just the same as with any other table, of course. Put it where I want, put the size I want. And when I click inside one of these cells and type, let's then put some content in, get to the end of that row, press enter, and I've got another row. And you can simply click to the right hand side of any of these rows and get yourself another row straight away. So that is a quick way of putting a table into your document, just using the plus and the tab sign, and then being able to add rows to that table as you type. Tip number 5 is about changing the font size. You can change the font size very easily by either selecting the text and coming up to the top here and changing it all, or using a keyboard shortcut, which is my preference. If you hold down the Control button at the bottom left of your keyboard and then use the square bracket buttons. Now the square bracket buttons are to the right hand side of the letter P on your keyboard. So hold down Control and use the closed square bracket, and that increases the font size by 1 point every time you press it. Using the left square bracket will reduce the font size. The great thing with this is that not only is it a quick way of just boosting perhaps the style of the top paragraph, and of course what you can do, as I just did then very quickly, is you can choose how big or how small to have that writing so it fits on the right number of lines. For example, when I made this text bold like that, the last word just sneaks round onto a 4th line, which I don't want. So what I did is I held down Control, I pressed B to make that bold, and then used the left square bracket just to nip the font size down 1 point so it's back on 3 lines. Now the great thing with this is that it doesn't matter whether throughout your document you've used a variety of different sizes of fonts. Let's just increase that a little bit there, like that. So I've got 3 size fonts here. The title is size 24, the first paragraph is size 15, and the rest of the text is size 12. So I've got 3 different font sizes. But if I want to increase all of those in proportion, I can simply Control A to highlight everything. Let's get rid of the last couple of lines there. So Control A to highlight the entire document. And then by holding down Control and pressing the right square bracket, it increases the font of every bit of text. So the title is getting bigger, the first paragraph is getting bigger, and the rest of the text as well, all in proportion. So my title is still the largest font, the first paragraph is still larger than the main text, and the main text is the smallest bit there is. So you can use the Control and square bracket to very quickly and easily reduce and increase the size of your font in proportion to all the other fonts in your document. So now we come on to point number 6, or shortcut number 6. Let's go ahead and insert a quick table, because sometimes you'll insert a table into Microsoft Word and you'll need to fill one of the columns, so this first column here, with numbers. So this will be number 1, the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, and so on. It's pretty time consuming, especially if you have a very big table. In Microsoft Excel, of course, there's a very quick and simple shortcut you can do that will fill a series of numbers or letters into a column very quickly. But you don't have that same shortcut in Microsoft Word. So how can you do it? It's very simple. Let's say I'm going to put the numbers 1 to 8 in this column here. So I'm going to highlight that column to begin with. And then I'm going to go to the Home tab. And then go along to this button here, which is our numbering button. This is what you would normally use to create a numbered list, like a bullet list, like this one here. But if you have a table and you have a column in that table selected, and you click this numbering button here, instantly what happens is that the numbers are populated right down the whole of that column. Now, of course, if you don't want numbers and instead you want letters, say, that's just as easy. So instead of clicking on the button, you click on the drop-down arrow just to the next of it, and you choose whatever it is. So you want capital letters, A, B, C, D. There we are, you've got it. So that's a very quick and simple way of populating a column of either numbers or letters in a sequential order. So there we are, 6 fantastic shortcuts. These are shortcuts that I regularly use and I think are really genuinely useful. They're not just geeky, they're actually useful and they do save time. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. You might also think about subscribing. That would be fantastic. I hope to provide lots more really useful stuff like this. If you have any questions about any of these shortcuts, or you have a suggestion of a shortcut you think that it would be useful to let people know about, please do leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.